Hello everyone, welcome back to Wire Gaming. I'm Mike, and today we are here at the futon, and we are going to go and talk about tabletop gaming. Specifically, what type of questions you should ask before creating a character. So this all started because my brother and his friends invited me to go and join them on their tabletop gaming. They play Dungeons and Dragons, but I had a few questions, and I think these are just game system agnostic questions. You can ask these no matter what the tabletop game is or what systems you're using. Before we get started on that, let's go talk about a little bit about the different roles that people play at the table. Usually there's someone who I call is running the game. Usually they have a title of Dungeon Master if it's Dungeons and Dragons, or a title of Game Master if it's any other system. Some systems may have a proprietary name for whoever this person is, but they all generally serve the same role. And that is they're the one they want to tell a story, and they want to include you in that story, or your characters as part of that story. So they will go and they'll create a world, they'll describe everything around you. There may be factions, there may be religions, there may be magic, there may be technology. Everything that your character can experience will be told to you or fed to you by whoever's running the game. Another big role that the person running the game has is that they are pretty much the game engine in a way, where they will go and help settle any type of conflict resolution. Whether it be something physical or in combat, like, hey, I want to go and hit that guy, and that guy obviously doesn't want to get hit. So then there's going to be some skill checks or some rolls that have to be made, and then the person running the game will go and tell you what actually happened. The other people that are at the table, they're the players. Each person at the table would have gone and created a character based off of numbers and stats of whatever system that's being played. And that character is someone who has agency within the story. And between the person running the game, who has a story he wants to tell, and the players there, who have agency to go make an effect and impact on that story, together it kind of makes like a group or a community storytelling mechanics. That's why a lot of tabletop role-playing games I find to be a lot of fun. They're different from video game role-playing games, which will follow similar rules, but the game engine isn't as advanced. They still have rules that they have to follow and are restricted to. While with tabletop gaming, the person running the game can find creative solutions to whatever interesting conflicts that may arise. Whenever I'm invited to go and play a tabletop game, I always want to know a bit more about the world I'm going to be playing in before I actually start creating a character. This doesn't have anything really to do with mechanics of the game, or hey, can I get a special item, or hey, can I go and have like a really cool ability or whatever like that. Pretty much more it's like I want to know more about the story that's being told so that I can make a character that kind of belongs in that story. Like, you don't want to go and have Sherlock Holmes during like an alien invasion story. There may not be a lot of opportunities to go and use investigation skills when you're combating aliens from outer space. Similarly, if you want to make a commando or some type of soldier, but the story is more about social intrigue, like you've been invited to the Duchess's palace and you're trying to go and prevent an assassination. Well, having some grunt leatherneck trouncing around at the ball probably won't be the best place for that type of character. You can still design a character to fit those roles, but you make sure that the background in it fits better with the story being told. Instead of it being some soldier, maybe it's a spy. Instead of it being Sherlock Holmes out in the battlefield, maybe it's someone who's more like a tactical expert. You still have the same skills, but the flavor of the character meshes better with the story being told. The first question I actually ask is, what genre of story are we trying to be told through this game? Sometimes that confuses some people running the game because they don't know what exactly you mean. So you can expand on as like, is this going to be a game that's going to have a lot of combat in it? Is this going to be a game that's going to have a lot of social interactions in it? Is this going to be a game that has a lot of exploration in it? And most of the time, I think you have a dungeon master or a game master, whoever's running the game. They're probably going to go tell you it's going to be a little bit of everything, because the person who running the game wants to make sure that their players are having fun as well. And so they want to have something available for everyone. Asking them what type of genre, like, oh, is this like an Indiana Jones style game where we have to go and fight, the Nazis? Or is this something that's like a space exploration game? See if you can get some type of description of what type of game it is. Like, if it was a book, what type of genre it would be. That will give you a better idea of what type of character to create that will fit that genre. Another question I want to go and ask, that I like asking anyways, is what are the common and uncommon like factions in the game? There's going to be conflict either by individuals or groups of people, but if you understand who those groups of people even are, it's likely to say that your character that you're making will be aware of those groups as well. If it's a thieves guild and it's going against, the town watch, then you'll know that, oh, there's a thieves guild in this game, and there's a town watch in this game, and when you're creating your character, you may find it more entertaining or to have that character have some type of link between either one of those two factions. There could be multiple things going on. There could be maybe an underground cult. There may be pilgrims that are coming to the land as part of their religion observances. Maybe there's a duke or duchess or king in the area, and so if that's the case, it's good to at least recognize that that's important, because the character in the game, when they start playing, they will recognize that as well. So knowing who kind of like the bigger picture movers or shakers of the story is important to know. A question I like to ask the person running the game is, what is something I can add to my character that will help tell your story? In doing this, you kind of make your character a little more integral to the story being told. You're not just a passive observer of what's going on around you with maybe some combat. You actually have some ties and like skin in the game of what happens in this story. It tells them that, hey, I want to go and engage in your story. I want to make a character that can be engaging in the story that you're telling, and I want to know how we can make that work out. It's interesting when you can go and be given a embedded hook with your character. So as soon as you start, when you hear about something, like say you are searching for a certain artifact and you hear that artifact's name by some commoner or maybe some traveling merchant, you know that that's a storyline thread that you want to follow for your character, and you know it's important to the person running the game because they told you, hey, this is an important thing to have. That's a really good way to go and make a character that seems more part of the story, more fluid in how the story is being told. Asking the person running the game what is considered mundane or what's considered to be extraordinary in this world that we're going to be living in will also give you kind of an idea of kind of like the technology level or the belief systems or how advanced or how magical this world is. If you're being told, well, magic is or technology is looked down upon because in the past it caused a grave catastrophe, well then if you're going to make a character that's going to use science or use magic or use some type of power that seems to be supernatural, that may be frowned upon because similar events like that in the past has negative consequences. And so it'd be important to know that. So, and how would you make a character that can go and balance between being able to use these abilities and not drawing the ire of the common folk, the people around you? If it's something where magic commonplace, well then you don't have to worry about that. But they may say that, oh well, then there's also an unnatural plague or people who died are coming back from the dead. Days are getting unnaturally shorter and you don't know why. These are all key stepping points that can A, inform you about the setting of the game, and B, it will also inform you about kind of a little bit of foreshadowing of what's taking place, or because some of those details may actually be important to the story that they're telling. And so knowing that ahead of time, knowing that, oh, there's an unnatural darkness going on, or oh, there's a person who is very young but has rapidly grown in power, these are all good things to know for your character as well, because that may inform you on what type of character you want to make. I have two more questions you would give. One really is up front, the other one comes a bit later. Ask whoever's running the game what restrictions you have for creating a character. You may have a story where magic doesn't exist, so please don't make a magic user. You may have a story where everyone from where you came from, when they became of age, they had to go do military training. Keep that in mind when you make a character. You know that's got to change kind of look and feel of the character. Someone who's completely academic is different than someone who was forced to go through the military first and then became an academic afterwards. If there's certain races you can't be, or if there's certain classes you can't be, certain factions you can't join, all those are important to know ahead of time before you even start making your character, because is this going to cause trouble down the road if you sit down making a character that the person running the game explicitly said they don't want you to have, because they have their own storytelling reasons for that, or maybe it's a balancing issue for the story they want to tell. So it's good to know what the restrictions are on how to make your character. And the last question, it really isn't one that's up front. It's usually after I go and finally make a character, figure out who they are, where they come from, their background, what they know about the world, how they have survived in what world the person running the game has described to you based off the questions we just asked. After all that's done, send your character sheet with the background and all the stats of your character, and ask the DM to look over it just to make sure there's nothing missing, or if they have any suggestions to make a character that's better. Especially if you are being given hooks by the person running the game for your background, it's always good to have them have a double check. It's not unusual for the person running the game to give you feedback, constructive feedback. They want to make sure you're making a good character that's going to fit well in their story. Take that feedback, internalize it, make some adjustments you need, and then send that back over to the person running the game for them to look at it a second time. And this back and forth may happen a few times, so eventually both of you should really know the character, what they want, where they come from, what they're hoping to do, and how they fit in this world. Will be well known both to you as a player and also for the person running the game. So at least you're on the same page there when you're starting off. But that's it. That was 5 or 6 tips, questions you can go and give the person running your tabletop role-playing game to make a character that fits better in the story. I hope you found this interesting. If you did, let me know. Obviously, if you liked the video, you know what to do to show your appreciation. And I'll see you next one. Take care.